Hi, my name is Haley. Welcome back to my channel. I mean, obviously you can tell from the title of this video what I'm going to talk about. A lot of people have been posting videos about their experience as a black person on BookTube. I'm not going to talk really about like my personal experience on BookTube just because I feel like I don't feel like I can really open up about that right now. I was really nervous to make this video because I just thought I was just gonna cry for 20 minutes straight because I'm just exhausted about just everything that's going on. I'm gonna be like really honest. I feel like I haven't been doing as much as I should be doing. I don't even know how to explain this because it sounds stupid. But yeah, just in general, I feel bad. To make a long story short, I feel like I am failing my community because I haven't been speaking up as much as I want to. I've been going to protest, I've been retweeting, I've been posting. I don't know, I just feel like it still isn't enough. And I think that part of that is just because I just in general feel really hopeless about the situation. I don't want to be negative, but it's impossible because this situation is so shitty. I mean, people are dying and there are other people that have the audacity to make any type of argument against that. Like, there's just no other way to say it. Like, if you don't support Black Lives Matter, you just don't support Black lives or Black people in general. And I don't understand how anyone can sit here and debate that. Like, we are literally just asking to want to live without fear, to want to live, period, and people have something to say against that, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. You know, obviously, like, I'm a black woman, no matter how long I've lived my life, and I've seen stuff like this, and no matter how much I've been exposed to it and how like used to it I've gotten, like, I'm not really used to it. Like, when I see stuff like this and I see people saying all lives matter and people not advocating for Black lives, it still hurts and it still shocks me, even though I'm not surprised because I've been experiencing this for my whole life. Like, I know there are people out there that are like that, but it still just blows my mind that there are people that do not believe that Black lives are of equal value as other lives. It's crazy to me that people can sit here and say they don't want to post about politics on their page. Their page is a safe space when it's not even about politics. It's about people dying. It's about human lives. And if you can sit here and say, oh, you know what, my page is a safe space, because by the way, there are people saying that in this community, believe it or not. There are people that have refused to want to repost stuff, that have refused to want to speak out because their little aesthetic bookstagram page is more important to them than Black lives. I love the book community. I'm really lucky in the sense that I know a lot of people, especially on book Twitter, have a lot of drama. For me, I haven't really experienced that, and I feel really lucky for that. But this whole situation has like brought to light so many issues in the community, as it's brought to light so many issues in our society and our country and our world. I have to speak out about this because I'm a part of this community, and I want all of my fellow Black creators to know that I'm here for you and that I will always be there with you. And I really, 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 really appreciate everyone who has been calling people out for being silent, who have been retweeting, posting petitions. I'm talking about Black creators specifically because, like I said earlier, it's freaking exhausting being Black in America. It's freaking exhausting just being Black. We live every single day with the fear of people wanting to hurt us, wanting to harass us, people just not believing that we should be allowed to exist in certain spaces, and that alone is a burden. But when situations like this come about, when Black people are being murdered at the hands of people that are supposed to be protecting us, and Black people who are just constantly being failed by the system that is supposed to uphold justice, it places another burden on us as a community, where we have to fight this fight. We are expected to fight against our oppressors and to relieve this oppression and to deconstruct the system ourselves. Even though we did not create it, we are not perpetuating it, we are victims of it, and we are expected to get up and fight. Just seeing so many people get, call these Black creators bullies or angry Black women just for calling other people out on their silence. It's just such bullshit to me, because I'm like, we already are so upset and so freaking just beaten down by everything going around us, and you're gonna sit here and call us bullies for calling you out for, trying to just check your privilege. And I just think that goes, excuse you, I think that just goes to show, first of all, how privileged these people are, and that just tells me that you value white fragility, white guilt, white tears more than Black lives and Black lives that are being murdered, which that just, obviously, that doesn't sit right with me. I don't understand how you can sit here and look at everything that's going around, all these people that are being killed, all these people that are sitting here trying to elevate their voice and fight for what's right, and your biggest issue is that, oh, we're making someone feel guilty. Like, okay, you're really upset that some white girl is crying because someone called her out because she didn't want to repost something on her Bookstagram. Like, that matters more to you than someone dying. I don't understand that. So as much as I hate that we are responsible for holding other people accountable and for basically ending our own oppression, because I've realized that if we don't do it, no one else will, and it's very evident in the response that is happening when we call people out and when people get upset for being called out, because it's like, well, you weren't doing it before, and even when we call you out, you still don't want to help us out. You don't want to be an ally. You want to cry and make up excuses rather than hop in and help Black people in this movement. And like, I don't know, it's just, my friend posted something and she was like, it's just really hard to feel that we have to have this burden of like trying to get rid of all this oppression when it really should be the oppressors that are working the hardest to get rid of it. They're the ones that mess up the system. They're the ones that are oppressing us. Like, we're trying to fix something that's broken. We didn't even fucking break it. The oppressors are the ones that have the most power, technically. They're literally the ones in the higher position. Yet it's our responsibility to raise awareness and to spread these petitions and to fight. And of course, the second that Black people want to share their voice and speak up, people feel some type of way. They feel like we're being violent. They feel like we're being angry, and they just want to try and control the way that we should feel about this situation. That's how I feel about that. I'm going to link some videos down below that are more specifically about, I'm going to link some videos down below that are more specifically about the situation that, multiple situations that were going on with white creators and some companies on book Twitter. I didn't really want to talk about it because I was not really involved in that. I didn't have like any personal experiences with those creators or that company, but I do want to link those videos so that you all will know what happened and so that you all can be informed. And of course, I'm going to be linking petitions and everything down below. George Floyd's murder, Breonna Taylor's murder, and every other murder that has happened in the past, they have been reminding me, specifically like all the circulation of all these videos on Twitter and just all over the internet. It just reminds me so much, because if you're not Black, I really don't think that you can fully understand what it feels like to see videos of Black people being killed, and of course to see comments saying that it isn't, whatever, it's bullshit. It made me think a lot about this book, Beloved, by Toni Morrison. Okay, this is me post filming, but I just want to say that I do not articulate my words very well in this video because I am a mess, but I believe that Toni Morrison should be required reading for everyone, specifically Beloved. It's one of the most amazing books I've ever read. It's one of my favorite books of all time, and I do not do it justice in this book. I honestly don't think that anyone can do Toni Morrison justice except for Toni Morrison, so please check out her book. Please read Beloved. I am begging you. It is an amazing book. It's hard to read, but it's so important. So please check it out. One of the main themes of this book is trauma and the legacy of trauma that is passed down through generations of Black people. And essentially the idea that Toni Morrison talks about is that since slavery, which is this huge collective experience that pretty much all black people have, at least black people in America, because their ancestors were slaves. All the trauma that they experience from slavery and from institutionalized racism is passed down through generations. And an interesting concept that she explores in the book, it is about slavery and slaves having escaped. She explores how a former slave, Setha, her daughter Denver, experiences some of these triggers and episodes despite having never experienced slavery. And she does a really good job of showing how this trauma is shown in black people that may not have even experienced, slavery, or may not have experienced police brutality to that extent. The response of the black community to these recent events has really reminded me of this book, because even though this book takes place in the 1860s, the themes that it explores and the things that these characters experience are still relevant to this day. And just scrolling through my timeline and just seeing everything that, just all these terrible videos of the police just doing these horrible things, just really reminded me of this book. And the last lines of this book are, "It was not a story to pass on. This is not a story to pass on." In my class in college, we talked about how there are multiple different ways that you can interpret these lines. The first way is that this isn't a story to pass on. You don't want to pass this on to your children. You don't want to retell this story, whether it be because it's too heartbreaking, it's too traumatic, it's too whatever. You don't want to pass it on. And then the other interpretation is that you don't want to pass over it, like you don't want to skip over the story, you don't want to bury it, because it's really, really important to remember our history, to remember where we came from, and to remember how we got here, and just to remember the legacy of all these black people. I thought it was so interesting how something so long ago, like, people like to talk about how racism is over, like slavery is over, like why are black people still complaining? And I'm like, because we feel the same way we did hundreds of years ago when you enslaved us, hundreds of years ago when you were trying to capture us for trying to escape slavery, years ago when you were lynching us, years ago when we were being brutalized by police, being assaulted by fire hoses and by police dogs, and it's still happening to this day. It's been internalized in a different form, and you see this in prisons, you see this with police brutality, you see it everywhere. So I don't understand how people can sit here and say that racism is not a thing, because it obviously is. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I hope that it made sense. I was kind of talking out of just very disorganized thoughts, mostly just my emotions. The whole first half of that video, I was not expecting that. But I really hope that you got something from this video. This video is not necessarily meant to be like educational. I really just wanted to post my thoughts, and I hope that you can understand them. I will say I really do appreciate the amount of the book community that has come together to just lift up the black community in this time. I know I talked a lot about a lot of negatives, but I do have a lot of people that are close to me, that follow me, that have been very supportive, and I honestly don't think that I would be able to sit down and film this video if it weren't for them, because just remember, Black lives fucking matter. If you have anything to say against that, get off my page. Remember to check out the videos that I link below by my fellow black creators. They're amazing, and you need to watch the whole thing. So go watch all of them. I know it's been, a little bit since the height of everything, and things are starting to calm down a bit, but just remember that black people are still experiencing the fear of just pure existence in America, just existing. It is a lot to carry around with us to be black. It's tiring, and a lot of people like to empathize with us when another black person is wrongfully killed by the police, but just know that your support is needed all the time, not just when we're having protests, not just when someone is getting called out, not just in times like this. Like, Black people do not have the opportunity to step away from their timeline, to step away from their feed, to pull out of all the racial injustice that's happening in this world. We don't have that ability to step out of our skin and stop being Black and stop experiencing oppression. So we're experiencing this every day. We need your allyship every day. I encourage you to continue fighting the fight and to continue to be an ally. Check on your Black friends. Just keep doing what you're doing. And then also tell my Black creators, I love you. I appreciate you so much. And I'm always here for you. My DMs are always open. Message me whenever. I am kind of a mess, but like, I just want you to know that I'm here for you. So yeah. Anyway, so that's it. Thank you for watching. You made it all the way to the end. And yeah, I appreciate you all. Bye.